that now, Steve, and not at 6:40 p.m.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. All right. We're just spooling up here. We should be ready in a 2
Looks
seconds.
like.
Yep.
Good to go.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Let's call the Planning Commission to order. I'll ask staff to take a quick roll call.
Sure. Mayor Devine.
Here.
Wayne Clark.
Here.
Brian Frank.
Here.
Rossi Menka.
Here.
Kathleen Dagenhart.
Here.
Then we have John Keckeisen, David Roshka, Ben Holt, and Eric Torkelson excused. So we have a quorum with four plan commissioners and the mayor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And then we'll do the approval of the minutes from our meetings in January.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion, there's a second. If there are no changes, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? The minutes are approved. Now we'll move to section D, number 2, and I will turn things over to staff.
Thanks, Mayor. Tony Giron is going to be presenting 5801, the Connect property.
All right, thanks, Steve. Thanks, Mayor. First project is for the Connect residents at 5801 West National Avenue. It's about half a block east of Kegel's Inn and Public Table. They're proposing a mixed-use building with a commercial tenant space on the first floor and a residential unit on the second floor. This is within the C3 Community Commercial District. This project will eventually require a special use, but we're going to wait until they select a tenant for the commercial space first. A little bit of a history lesson for this property. It was originally built as a mixed-use building in 1925, and then in the 50s, it was owned by Eastman Tenaxol, which engineered ester alcohol as the coalescent agent in latex paints. So we owe this company a great deal because they brought latex paints into the forefront of the paint world. So the new owners are seeking a commercial tenant that will suit the community's needs. So if you have any ideas for them, please let them know. But I know I would personally love to see another great restaurant similar to the other ones that are in the neighborhood. So here we have a look at the site and landscaping plan. We see that they're going to be adding a privacy fence enclosing the rear yard. They will also be adding a stoop, which allows ingress and egress along the east side of the building. They will require a grant of privilege for this, or a privilege of encroachment rather, because it does overlap on the public right-of-way. And we're working with them to get that right now. They will be adding a new concrete path from the rear of the building to the garage and the refuse area. And we've asked for them to enclose the refuse area as a condition of approval, but they have already sent us an updated plan. This is part of the updated plan. And they're also going to be adding a residential parking stall. And another condition of approval that we had for them that they have already addressed was adding landscaping along the public right-of-way. So they'll be adding perennials, juniper, and switchgrass. Parking code asks for 3 stalls required at this site, but they are providing 4. Here we take a look at the lower level, which includes an exercise room for the residential space and a workroom and corridor and storage space. Taking a look at the first level floor plan, we see that the tenant space is roughly 1,400 square feet. And the residential unit has also included their pantry on the first floor as well as their rear entry, and looks like a closet space as well. On the second level, we see the residential unit, which includes 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. It's just over 2,300 square feet. They'll be stripping down the current space down to the studs and replacing all wiring and plumbing. The new space, there's going to be a new space enclosed over the first floor addition. So if you look at the bottom of this image, you'll see that all of that the office/bedroom, the game room will be enclosed with a roof overhead. The outdoor patio will also have a roof overhead, but that'll be a translucent panel roof. And yes, anything else of note here? I think those are the main points. So just above that in the loft area, they'll have some storage space as well as the furnace in the attic. And here you can take a look at the translucent roof on the lower left, and then the new roof that's going to go over their game room and office/bedroom. Taking a look at the north elevation, the Connects will be replacing the roof of the building, replacing all windows and adding new skylights. They will also be adding new doors and corrugated metal siding, which you'll see on the bottom just underneath the windows. You'll see that on a few of the other elevations as well. Taking a look at the east elevation, they are adding the new steps and stoop, new door and side lighting just on either side of that door, and those corrugated metal panels as well. They're also adding some stainless steel columns framing that entrance and adding wood clad over the balcony in the back. Taking a look at the building from the south, we see a lot of those new windows, the new balcony, they're adding a new wooden door, and you get to take a look at that new addition from the residential unit on the upper left. Next slide, please. And looking at the building from the west, we see that they're gonna keep the historic 10-axle sign. And you can also see the translucent roof panels, which are held up by some wooden beams, I believe. And something that was pointed out from the fire department, we wanted to make sure that the walls and the new walls in the residential unit facing the west elevation were fire rated behind the metal cladding, which they made sure to note on their plans that they will be. Staff recommends approval of this project, subject to the grant of privilege that we talked about for the east door, and bringing us an estimated cost of screening and a surety bond for the screening and landscaping. Thank you.
Move approval.
Thanks, Tony, for the presentation. We have a motion to approve by Wayne. Did I hear a second from Kathleen?
Yes.
Okay, are there any questions on the project or the motion? I just want to just take a minute to commend the applicant on really sprucing up this property. It's one that I've seen quite often and looked at, and I always thought it had such a cool character and had a potential to be something really nice. So it's really glad to see the renovation and the plan for this. I'm excited. It's got some potential, some great potential. So if there is no other discussion, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, item is approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Welcome. And then we'll move on to item 2.
Thanks, Mayor. Aaron Scharf of our zoning administrator business process liaison is going to be handling the festival foods ordinance PDD removal, as well as item 4, the festival sign appeal. Aaron?
Okay, good evening, everybody. This is the festival food site at 11111 West Greenfield Avenue. And this is a form of pick and save site, along with there was a previous gas station and convenience store on the north end of the lot, which is a separate lot. So they are following through with their original Plan Commission directive from 2020 to remove the PDD removal. It is no longer necessary because they are strictly renovating the festival food site, and they have one future tenant space in there as well. So this was previously done and no longer applies to this situation. So staff recommends that this be moved for council approval with a public hearing date of March 16th for 2021.
Any questions? We have a motion to approve by Brian.
Second.
Second by, was that Rossi?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Ayes have it, the motion carries. Thank you. And then we'll move on to the next item.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I just want to note too that Aaron Festival is here with us. Thanks for joining us.
Yes. So Aaron Aspen is on the call with us.
Aaron Sharp.
We got two Aaron.
Dueling errands.
Aaron is here, here for the, more so for the sign plan appeal. If there's any questions once we go over the presentation. The sign plan appeal and master sign plan approval is in front of you tonight. This was previously brought to Plan Commission in 2020. You all have probably seen these plans once before. The building renderings, you'll see the east elevation, and then you can partially see the north elevation here in the photo at the top right. And then the bottom photo is of the monument sign. This is the current existing sign that is there. They'll simply be changing out the paneling on the top portion, which is illuminated, and then the bottom three tenant signage panels at the bottom, and repainting the base and top cap and middle area of the brick. So the wall signage that you see here is also going to be shown on the next page on the elevations. They have a total of 120 square feet for their tenant signage, which is going to be on the east elevation all the way to the southern end of the building. It's kind of hard to see in that photo. And then there's also going to be some on the right-hand side, which is the north facing side of the building. So they have a total of 120 square feet for any future tenant. That's to be determined at this time. The festival food signage is for their master sign plan. They are requesting 564 square feet, which is slightly over what the code allows at 500, and the 564 square feet is over by 16 square feet of what we have allowed them per the code. So the design elements are relative to the size of the building, the setback and the orientation. As you know, it's set back far off of Highway 100, but they have a more visible side from the Greenfield, kind of that corner just west of when you start to head west on Greenfield off of Highway 100. And the signage is unique in the fact that they're using mounted letters versus raceways, where typically raceways, you can see sort of that line across the back when they're mounted on a building. Here, they're using more architecturally pleasing features by taking the channel letters and mounting them each individually with brackets. And then also adding some more metal backing to a few of the signs, like the fresh quality local you'll see on the front northeast elevation. And then also you'll see that behind the main entrance elevations as well. So if anybody has any comments, or if Aaron wants to make any notes as well, feel free. Festival's been great to work with. They fell within our parameters that we requested. Just one more note is on the previous approval from Plan Commission, it was noted to have the Cub food storage sign removed, which is a non-conforming sign that's on the north end of the property. Unfortunately, the Cub Food Storage has an easement agreement to maintain that sign. So we are not able to allow them to take it down. We will enforce any issues with it through our code enforcement and property maintenance letters. So that's just a side note since that was brought to our attention by Festival.
Mr. Mayor, a question for Aaron.
Is that for Aaron with an E or Aaron with an A?
I don't know, probably with an E.
Okay.
Just stepping back to the Cub Foods, whatever it is, storage.
Yep.
How long is that agreement in place? Is there an expiration date?
There is no expiration date on that.
And that is between what organizations?
It is between the property owner of the Cub storage and the, or I think it's called self-store now, but that's fine. different. And then between Festival. So they have an easement onto Festival's current property, which has been in place, and that carries from property owner to property owner. The only way we would have them remove that sign is I would send a formal letter if they weren't maintaining the sign. It is a little rusty, so come this spring, we're going to ask them to paint it. Talk to them possibly about changing out the panels. They're starting to get a little faded. And if they don't come into compliance within the time frame we've given, we could potentially then take matters to have it removed.
I'd appreciate that follow-up. And will you keep us informed of that progress?
Sure.
Thank you. I'd move approval, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, is there any other discussion? Aaron with an A, did you have anything?
No, I think Aaron did a really good job of outlining our signage. I just want to thank Aaron and Steve. They've been really awesome to work with. You know, a lot of collaboration from the onset of design of this property, and we're really excited to get open, and just want to extend our thanks to everyone. And we're opening May 21st, so make sure you stop by.
Thank you.
A lot
Thank
of
you.
people are excited.
We are too. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thanks, Aaron.
If there's no other discussion, all in favor,
Thanks,
please say
Aaron.
aye.
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 Aye. Anyone opposed? The ayes have it. The motion is carried. Item is approved.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We will now move on to item 5. Item 5.
Thank you. Good. Thanks, Mayor. Item 5 is for Hein Electric. Ron Ranowski is here with us from Hein, he's the vice president, and what he's proposing here is a 40 building. The existing building is roughly about 50,000 square feet, and it sits upon obviously a larger site, which extends up to Rogers Street and sort of wraps around our city water tower, as you can see on the site. Then that outdoor storage yard south of the building where they want to install the a hoop structure and accessory building, very similar to what Winter Services did to the just abutting south of this property. And in addition, the another element that they're going to be adding here is they're going to be in the process of adding the storage structure. They're going to be also relocating their dumpster enclosure just south of the new accessory building. The landscaping that's highlighted on the upper portion of the screen here, that's just some landscaping that's died off over time, past couple of years. And as part of this review, it was noted on the approved plan that, hey, it looks like there's something missing here. City forester called it come spring, and with the 3 new spruce trees. Additionally, on the right-hand side here, you can see that the existing outdoor storage yard is bound within the perimeter of an 8-foot high vinyl coated chain link fence with privacy slats, and that's going to be the same material that the new refuse enclosure is going to be constructive as well. So it'll all be, seamless and matching. The color of the let's just give you a quick elevation and a photo of what the hoop structure looks like. This is just a quick elevation. It's going to be about 22 feet tall, and it's going to span roughly about the 54 or so feet across. And then as the image shows, it will have it will be placed on pavement, and it will have a small foot or two masonry base. The color of it will be a white vinyl or a white fabric color, as represented in this image here. And this is a much larger structure somewhere in the world, but it gives you sort of the idea of what this structure is going to be, appear like, just on a smaller scale. It will be set back roughly about 200 feet from 116th Street, and the site is well landscaped, well maintained. So we're, I think we're supportive of the proposal, and with the comments from in the staff report. Of note, Hein has taken care of the basically the condition 1 and the 3 elements under condition 1. So they're agreeing to replace the landscaping per the city forester's recommendation. They're going to be adding that refuse enclosure to mitigate the the new location on site, And then the fabric color has been noted as white. So with that, we're recommending approval. And if there's any questions, or Ron, any clarifications, I guess that's my presentation.
Thank you,
No,
Steve.
I think you've covered all the points, Steve. Thank you.
Sure.
I'd move approval.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. I think Brian inched out Kathleen on that one.
Yep.
Any other discussion? It's a cutthroat committee. If there is no other discussion, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion is approved. Item carries. Or
Thank you,
item-
Ron.
Yeah, Mayor, I just want to thank you for the pleasure of working with Steve. I'm actually sitting at my other office right now, which is the Village of Merton Hall, where I am the Plan Commission Chair, and I also am the village president. So,
Okay.
working with another Plan Commission and working with Steve was just a fabulous process. I want to thank you.
Outstanding. And he didn't pay you to say that?
He did not. That was unsolicited. You can't
All right.
private government official. You know that.
I appreciate it.
Right.
Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it, Ron. Thanks.
And then we'll move on to our final item, item 6.
Yeah, item 6 is the Aspen Dental signage appeal, and it was before Plan Commission last month. Fred Finch, Don Numador, are here representing the Aspen Dental proposal. And as you recall, last month, just a quick summary here, they're allowed 125 square feet of signage for the property. And the one complicating thing here was that there's an existing, sign on the corner for Office Max. So that Office Max sign is Office Max's, and that sort of puts the Aspen Dental property to be here at somewhat of a deficit in terms of signage. So what's allowed for the Aspen Dental sign, given the Office Max sign is roughly, they were allowed an additional 45 square feet of signage, which we approved at staff level, in accordance with the Planning Commission's direction last month. What Aspen is coming back for is just asking for an additional 45 square feet because they want to have 2 wall signs. We approved one at staff level for the west elevation facing Highway 100, and the additional sign they want to add is on the 35 square foot sign as well. So originally last month they were talking about 2 60 square foot wall signs. We felt that was just too concentrated, too much at that corner, especially with the existing pole sign. So they've scaled it back to 45 square feet per wall sign. We've approved one of them. This is just the second one. The appearance of it, what it's going to look like. It's channel letters mounted on the wall above the windows and storefront awnings. Very similar to other signs throughout the city, in close proximity. The green represents the one we approved at staff level. The red is the one they're after. We're supportive of the proposal. Shade will come down. It just is under an existing lease with that of Office Max, and but we're here long haul, and things will change. So the board is not out of line of what you'll see up and down Highway 100, and it does would otherwise meet the sign ordinance if not for that existing freestanding pole sign of Office Max. So with that, we recommend approval.
Mr. Mayor, a question for Steve.
Yes, Wayne.
Go ahead, Wayne. Sorry.
Thank you. Steve, your characterization that Aspen Dental has a problem because of the Office Max sign is really not a fair assessment. We, the Plan Commission, pushed hard to try to get that Office Max sign down, and as you well know, because you're in the middle of this discussion, couldn't be moved. It had to be there. So Aspen Dental was fully aware of the Office Max sign when it decided to go ahead with this project. That being said, just for the clarification, I'd move approval.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion with a second by Brian. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Item carries. Thank you. And I just
Thank you, Fred. Thanks, Don.
gonna mention, I don't know if the attendance reflects that Amanda Nowak is with us.
Yes, hi, Amanda.
Hello.
So she can be recorded in the minutes as being present.
Got her. Got it. Thank you.
Thank you. And then that should conclude tonight's business. So I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I think Kathleen won that one. All in favor of adjourning?
She's a battler.
She is. She's persistent.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Thanks,
Aye.
everyone.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. We are adjourned. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Night, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Thanks.
So far, I haven't figured out how to get out of here, Steve.
I know. Sometimes you have to sort of
What
move
in
the
the
mouse
world am
around a
I-
little bit, and then finally the end
They'll
button
throw me
shows up.
out. Yeah, I don't see where it says leave. I'll try this. Have a good one,
Okay.
Steve. Thank you.
If I hit